I've told the story a million times. The guy will get embarrassed because I'm telling you again. Troy Coker won a World Cup for Australia, 1991. Great mate of mine, close mates. 2015, he came over with a load of guys, Dirk Hansen, Frankie Austin. We were watching the Rugby World Cup 2015. It was in England. And they saw me and couldn't believe it. They were going, what the fuck is going on with you? Anyway, Troy's 6'6", probably played at about 110 kgs, maybe a bit more, don't know. And Troy was old school. Like Troy's, he was pretty, he let his fists go a lot and he rucked vigorously. He was old school rugby forward. And, he was, I would say, borderline psychopathic. But anyway, he put his arm around me. We walked through South Cam one night and he put his arm around me and he said, mate, you need professional help. And this is where my journey didn't start in rehab. My journey started that night because what happened was he said, mate, you need professional help. You're fucked. And I thought to myself, fuck you. I thought, fuck you. Known him since I was 19. He's basically calling me out as a drug addict. He said, you need help, right? And it was the best thing that happened to me because the next 4 months I did everything I could to stop using cocaine. And I got it down from about 20 to 30 grams a week down to about a gram a day. And then I just had the realization that I couldn't stop. I actually couldn't stop. And I needed to actually see professional people, as Troy said, and I went to rehab. But if you said to me, who was the person that got through to you? Who was it? It's a rugby player. Okay, now the question is, why a rugby player? Because I'll tell you something right now. We go to places in our souls as rugby players for the guys beside us. We go to places, as a rugby player, you'll go to a place that you'll never get remotely close to in the financial world or the business world because it's a core. You wear the same colours. It doesn't matter what your religion is. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter the colour of your skin. What you're saying is, I'm going to give absolutely everything of my soul and you can depend on me. And I don't think it's any surprise that a rugby player got to the centre of my problem and I listened to someone. I don't think anyone in the business world, would never, ever, ever, ever have got there. I think it had to be a rugby player because of the place that us three have been in. We've been there. Bloody hell, Fitzy, mate, front row, you guys, front rowers and flankers, where they go is beyond my comprehension, right? It's beyond and I've spoken to, Leonard, Jason Leonard and Wentz and fucking all these guys, but you guys have a brotherhood, especially in the front row, and flankers have I'm diving on hand grenades all day long for you blokes. That's what flankers do. Don't worry, I'm going to put my body. That's why the Lewis Moody thing it's like heartbreaking. And we go to places that you'll never ever and you'll never ever replicate ever again in your life. Children being born is beautiful. It's beautiful, right? And I just think it's quite interesting that the guy that a message finally, a little piece of light got into my brain, came from a rugby player.
So it's the trust, the bond, basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
But isn't it funny? My first reaction was, fuck you, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Because that's what, it's like, it's like that combative, what'd you say? No way, it's almost like saying, someone says to you as a rugby player, man, I don't think you're tough enough. What'd you say? What'd you say to me?
Very true.
Yeah. It's leadership, though.
It got me, but what it did was, it got me in fight mode to beat cocaine. But then I got to the realisation, no, I can't beat it. And that's when I went to rehab. My whole life, the journey started, and here I am today.
Yeah.
Crazy old journey, man. Crazy old journey.